Hi, and welcome to my August retrospective view. It's coming a little bit later, but I feel that's just been the energy of transitioning between August and September. And it's been an interesting time. August has been a really emotional month. And of course, I always look forward to August because it's my birthday month. And lots of my Facebook friends are all Leos. And so it's their birthdays as well. And so there's lots of feelings of camaraderie, but there has been a real, I suppose, an essence of just feeling overwhelmed by emotions, which ran in tandem with the theme of the month, which was self awareness, self reliance, self confidence. All of that was our theme as our topic as we ran through the month in our Facebook posts. So it was really interesting that it was a really emotional month. And where did that come from? Where does that come from? We've got lots of factors playing into that process in terms of that we had the double moon. And of course, moons really impact us on a human level in terms of when they're waxing, when they're coming into their full blossom, things speed up and things become heightened, become more aware. Our emotions are really impacted by a waxing moon. And then we get to this pinnacle point when something, a crescendo will happen, or we snap, or we break, or we just surrender to a process. And then we have the waning moon, where we can take that deep breath, where suddenly we think, oh, gosh, the pressure's off. What's happened? I don't understand what's happened. But of course, in August, we had the double whammy. We had two moons to deal with. We had the moon, and then we had the blue moon, which is really not a blue moon, but it's once in a blue moon do we get two moons waxing and waning in the same month. So we've had this roller coaster effect of feeling drawn up by emotion, and then the pressure's off, and then we're up in emotion, and then the pressure's off. So it's been a really interesting time. I think for myself, as I think back, it's been a really physical month. And of course, I sort of put that out there in my video saying, I'm so happy I'm on my last 59th year. I'm heading out of my 50s into my 60s next year because I haven't enjoyed my 50s because it's been so physical. And of course, that's brought up lots of physical issues for me this month. And I've had to really manage my drama queen mind, the fears all coming up. What is it? Is it going to be okay? Am I going to be okay? Just that constant self-talk that goes on and on and on in our brain. And again, with that waxing and waning moons, just that whole drama queen mind just taking over. So that's been a really interesting perspective for me on actually controlling my emotions and putting things into perspective that's really manageable. And so, hopefully we're coming out of this physical episode that we've been on, this journey that we've been on, and moving into something a lot better and healthier and more comfortable. I think for my friends out there who have had to deal with the loss of a loved one, and that brings up emotion, and so quite a few of you, both friends and clients, have been dealing with the passing of a loved one, be it unexpectedly, be it through circumstances or health issues. Again, it's been really interesting, I suppose, being part of their journey and for them going through that process of remembering that person and coming to terms with that sense of loss. And it reminds us of our own inevitability that, death is part of that life cycle. It reminds us of our own mortality, especially as we get older. And so there's been lots of that been happening this month. which again ties into the theme of self-awareness and self-reliance and emotional resilience. We've had to be really emotional resilient this month. It's just been so interesting, so interesting. I suppose as we look at what is happening globally, we're all having to find that extra part of ourselves that we can rely on, because we have to become self-reliant. We can't always dump our stuff on other people hoping that they will absorb it or help us or secure some sort of future or answer. We have to actually take on board our own mortality and our own responsibilities. And that was really interesting, I think, for myself as part of my journey this month. So what can we expect in September? I'm not quite sure. I feel September is going to be one of those months that's going to feel very short. We're already into, the first quarter of the month already, or the first third of the month, let's say. And I don't know where that time has gone. It's like vanished. And so I think September, as we're coming into spring, especially here in New Zealand, and it's the lighter nights, the longer days, the month will feel shorter. But I'm also hoping that we find time in this month in particular to take stock of where we've been so far. I think one of the things that we forget is that we're on a journey and that we have had successes and we have created change and we have become a better version of ourselves. But when we're trapped in the mundane of these high energy events, of these impactful or life-changing events, we forget the journey that we've been on, and we can be quite dismissive of who we are or dismissive of what we've achieved. And I feel it's really, really important for us all to remember that there is a silver lining out there, that it's not quite as dark as we think, that when we stop and take a breath and see where we've come, then we need to celebrate that. We have to celebrate who we are as people and what we've accomplished. And I know for myself and my partner, we do take stock. It's one of those little rituals that's just become a habit, or does a habit become a ritual? I don't know, but it's one of those processes that we give thanks and we reflect back and we think, well, that's where we were, but wow, look where we are now, rather than think about what is missing or what we haven't done, because that just keeps us in that mire, or it stops us from growing. It keeps us in that place of limits rather than being limitless. So it's been an interesting month, an interesting perspective. One of the things I would like to say is a big thank you to everyone who transitioned onto the Insight Timer and were part of the live broadcast on Ascension. It was just lovely to see some of the feedback, some of the questions that the participants took part and took time to do. And so I'm going to stick to the Insight Timer format. The link is in the newsletter, and we're going to look at just having angels in our life. I think we forget that we can call upon our angels, our spiritual guides and helpers, if you like, when we're feeling a little bit overwhelmed, when we feel that we've lost an important person in our life, when we feel that moving forward is quite difficult. And so we're going to talk about our angels. And there's quite a few people already booked in on that one. So the link is in the newsletter. It would be fun to be part of the journey. The last time I did a live angel on Insight Timer, I think there was about 160 people participated. So it's really cool to see all the questions that they ask. So I'm going to stick to using Insight Timer as my live meditation talk medium or platform, if you will. Reiki, of course, is coming up in October, so if you're keen to do your level 2, then by all means do that. And then November we have a level 3. I've got lovely students already booked on these courses, so please, if you're ready to expand your own self-awareness, self-confidence, self-healing, then by all means register online and become part of those groups that are moving ahead. So it's always really cool just to do that. And a big thank you to everyone who's actually taken an opportunity to sort of manage themselves in a way where they're booking either for a full 1 hour session or they've just got that one particular pressing process in the booking for those little mini sessions that seems to be going down very well. And I'm really delighted that those 2 options are now available, and people see the value in that they can just have that quick connection, especially on the little mini sessions, a quick connection. And also for the distant healing, they are coming through, and the feedback from the clients who are booking a distant healing has been really wonderful. So I'm here to help and support you if I can. There's lots of different ways that I can support you, whether it's through teaching, whether it's through distant healing, absent healing, or whether it's through a personal session. I'm always open to be a support for you if you need it. So until the next time, be really aware of your time and how you're going to spend it in September. I feel that's going to be a big thing. And be good to yourself and count your blessings, but also count your successes during this month. So until the next time, thank you for your time. Thank you for watching this video and for your continued support. It really does mean a lot. Till the next time, bye for now.